Hey everyone, it's Nick with TARANT.info. Today I'm going to be walking you through the project that we're going to be giving out with our FM Sounds pack. And I'm going to explain a little bit about the sounds that we have in this project that we're giving. And then I was just experimenting with some of the patches that we already have in the actual pack. So I started off this project by just writing some halftime drums for everybody to make sure this volume's nice and low. Nice little bit of rhythm there with like reverse, some hi-hats, nice kick and snare, and like some tonality to the snare. Did like this little one, kind of just like gives a nice little click topping. And then we have our subs, and basically these two are just stems off of the impact sounds, and then this is just a 808 sub that I created. And then these are the patches. This is one of the ones from the pack. It's kind of got like that UK or like, I don't know, people call it like claw sound or whatever. Interesting stuff. And what I did is I took one of the patches that Jacob had created, I believe, or I don't really remember honestly who created this one. But I added a secondary LFO, and let's go ahead and remove that real quick and hear the original tone. It'll play back. Oh, it's not going to play back without the level. So it just kind of opens up real nice and is really like fat sounding. So I went ahead and, oops, I have to drag that back in real quick. Here's another secret. So if you ever lose one of your sounds and you've already saved the project, all you have to do is go back in. If you named them, then it's a lot easier, but I know that this is the first Serum, so pop that in there and rename it Phaser. Didn't even spell Phaser right the first time. Yeah, so I went ahead and put that LFO on there, and that LFO is just kind of giving it that little bit of extra vibrato, or what's the other term? Tremolo. It's giving it that kind of tremolo sound. Thought it sounded cool like that. And then we had one of the rhythm patches that I just flipped, which isn't really a rhythm patch. It's more like kind of like a Never Say Die hybrid, like grungy sound. Interesting one. And I just basically flipped some of the waveforms in an existing patch that's going to come with the pack. This is actually a secondary edit of that patch, which I want to kind of break down so I can show you the different things that we've done in these patches and how you can mess around with them to really get some different tones in these sounds. So we have this first LFO controlling many different parameters. We have it on the filter, we have it on the level, we have it on the FM, and the flanger. On the flanger, it's really doing like some tonal movement, just very, very slightly, because on flangers it does like a lot of crazy phasing when you start to increase the value of the LFO a lot. I like to keep it pretty small and then do like a slower one that might be more drastic, or something that like changes it like to an A and a B point. That's kind of what the secondary LFO is doing. But we're only on the first LFO, so we'll just explain everything that's going on with this. So it's controlling the level, which is giving it the direct cutoff to give that shape. It's one of the little things that I like to do. I like to turn the level all the way down and use one LFO to really define the sound and the movement. And then we have a little bit of the LFO1 also on the FM to send this saw wave, or this crazy looking saw wave that we've created in the pack, into this waveform, which is a little bit more basic, but like sine square wave. You can see how it starts out as a like sine and has like some hybrid waveform looking stuff right there. And we also have this high pass, which is actually giving like a nice frequency sweep cutoff. Kind of just tightening up some of those frequencies more. If you listen to it on monitors, you'll notice a difference when you A and B that. And then that's pretty much it for that. And we have some compression going on just to boost the levels and give it that OTT, multiband distortion kind of weird thing that the compressor does. And then a little bit of boosting, a little high shelf, and the flanger. Flanger's got LFO2 on it, which is actually making a two-step movement where it's actually hitting the farthest value and then coming back to this at triplet half note. And basically that's just giving it some weird wonky movement. It's like a big thing I've noticed a lot of the producers that I know that make rhythm do. They like to have like a an LFO making like the movements itself, and then they'll have like another LFO making like tonal movements, and they'll both be on like different times, so it kind of gets that wink wonk weird like back and forth movement, and you get like almost a dual purpose type of patch. That's why it's kind of interesting in this one. A few of the patches that we have in our packs are designed like this, and you can kind of go through and see which ones have multiple LFOs and where they're at. But in this sound specifically, it's kind of giving it two different movements, like an A and B. You can hear like yep, 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 yep. Like it's like kind of going down right here, and that's just like the phaser moving. And then we have some automation going on inside of Ableton. And that's pretty much it. And then we experimented with this patch. If you hear it with like the auto filter, it's a nice little elongated solid tone that you can use. Filtering works really nice with it to like kind of create some dynamics and control the sound a little bit. And that's pretty much it. And you can pretty much go into any of these sounds and really start twisting some knobs and get some different tone variations or change the waveforms entirely. We've done like quite a few different patches between basses, leads, plucks, stabs, just random little things we thought could be helpful with FM synthesis. But the main part about this is the waveforms themselves. Jacob worked pretty hard on those and preparing all these things from some different FM synthesizers and exported all of these waveforms, which personally I think you can get some really great tones with if you know what you're doing in sound design. Personally, I've been not doing as much sound design anymore in Serum specifically, so I'm a little rusty. Been doing more analog stuff, which I'm going to do some demos on that in the future. But I just highly recommend playing with these wavetables. There's a lot of good tones in it. I've only spent maybe a total of like 4 to 6 hours working with them, and every time I've got some pretty interesting tones and some pretty heavy sounds. Like if I probably spent like a day on it, a solid day, I'd probably come up with some really nice sounds, because I'm just getting really fat tone out of like any of these patches, and then depending on what I'm doing in the actual configuration of the patch, depends on how the outcome of the sound is. Really start to get some cool variations with these ones. Yeah, go ahead and check out the pack that we're releasing, and be on the lookout for all the stuff in the future. I'm going to be covering a little bit about the new Beta 10 soon here, a resampling course, and a few other courses that have yet to be announced or talked about that we're trying to get the game plans together. We have this winter break, and we're going to really try to crank out some good content for everybody to check out. Yeah, that's pretty much it so far. Hope you guys enjoyed this pack. Go ahead and like us on YouTube and all of the social media platforms. It's TARANT.info. We have a collaboration called Tarantism, where the name stemmed from. Some cool stuff on there. Check out ADAY, ADAY. That's my buddy Jacob. Pretty awesome producer. And then, yeah, have fun. Take care, guys.